Hello everyone, hope you all doing good. So from this video, I'm going to talk about research method. You all might think this is a bit different topic, whereas most of the time when we say psychology, we talk about depression, motivation, those kind of topics. But this topic is very important. So let's get started. So first we'll see what do we mean by research. Research means the systematic investigation into study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and new conclusions. First, we'll talk about scientific method. So, scientific method is the approach through which psychologists systematically acquire knowledge and understanding about behavior and other phenomena of interest. There are 4 steps. First, we have formation of the problem. Then we have frame a hypothesis to be tested. Hypothesis means a predicted relationship between variables. Then the third point we have research design and data collection. And fourth point, theorize and publicize. So theory is a set of principles that explains a group of facts, especially a set of principles that has been repeatedly tested and can be used to make a prediction. So to become a good theory, that theory should be testable, fruitful, elegant, and falsifiable. Then we have types of research, very important. First we have qualitative research paradigm, which means descriptive or exploratory studies. Qualitative research is used to describe in detail the characteristics and features of the thing in question. And then we have quantitative research paradigm. Quantitative research paradigm is an evolution or outcome studies. Quantitative research paradigm is used to test the effectiveness of a particular feature or intervention. And then we have meta-analytic studies. Meta-analytic studies involves statistically summarizing and analyzing the results of the range of studies which have investigated a particular topic. So now let's see the methodological basis of quantitative research method and qualitative research method. Quantitative research method includes empiricism and positivism, whereas qualitative research method includes post-empiricism and post-positivism. So when we are talking about quantitative research method, there is an objective world independent which form the mind of the researcher. Also, researcher can know what world and explain it to others. Whereas qualitative research method, there is no objective world independent from the human mind. Researcher is a part of its studies. Also, researcher can participate in creating data. And quantitative research method, data or information is about people, whereas qualitative research method, information or data is not about people but narrations created about people. Then in quantitative research method, researcher is not a subject of his research. There goes dualist approach, which means researcher and participants are included. And quantitative research method, researcher is also a subject, which goes non-dualist approach. Then the aim of quantitative research method is to explain, which means researcher is the agent of knowledge, whereas qualitative research method aim is to critically understand about both researcher and the participant are agents of knowledge. And quantitative research method, data is numerical, also can be analyzed by running computer programs, whereas qualitative research method, data is verbal or textual, difficult to be analyzed by running computer programs. Under quantitative research method treats data as statics, whereas qualitative research method treats data as changing, and the objective of quantitative research method is scientific, whereas the The subjective is less or non-scientific in qualitative research method. Also, in quantitative research method, research process is relatively shorter, whereas qualitative research method, research process takes much longer. Also, quantitative research refers to counts and measures of things, whereas qualitative research refers to meanings, concepts, definitions, characteristics, metaphors, symbols, descriptions, language of a thing. Moving on, how do psychologists research? First, we have archival research. Research in which existing data such as census documents, college records, and newspaper clippings are examined to test a hypothesis. Then we have naturalistic observation, research in which an investigator simply observes some naturally occurring behavior and does not make a change in the situation. Then we have survey research, research in which people chosen, which means a sample, to represent a larger population, are asked a series of questions about their behavior, thoughts, or attitudes. Then we have case studies, which means an in-depth, intensive investigation of an individual or small group of people. Then we have correlational research, research in which the relationship between two sets of variables is examined to determine whether they are associated or correlated. Then we have experiment, which means the investigation of the relationship between two or more variables by deliberately producing a change in one variable in a situation and observing the effects of that change on another aspect of the situation. Then we are going to talk about ethics in research. Ethics means the code of conduct that psychologists regulate their professional behavior or activities. So there are a few guidelines. First, we have protection of participants from physical and mental harm. So for example, when you are conducting a psychotherapy, will say, so when you are talking with the client, when you are counseling, you have to make sure whatever you say does not harm the participant from physical or mental harm. Then we have the right of participants to privacy regarding their behavior. Example, if you are doing a research and you're asking questions from the participant, so whatever the participant tells you, you must make sure that it's between only you and the participant. You can't give any private information or anything else to outsiders. And then third point, we have the assurance that participants in research is completely involuntary. You can't force the participants telling that you have to participate in my research. You can't do that. It should be totally involuntary. And then fourth point, we have the necessity of informing participants about the nature of procedures before their participation in the experiment. So before you are doing the research, you have to explain how it goes from beginning to end very clearly. After that only you can start your research. Then we have informed consent. So you verbally explain all the methods and how the research is going to go. Also, you have to give each participant an informed consent, telling that what are you going to do, who are you, you have to introduce yourself, and then the participant have to mention that this is totally involuntary and the participant agrees to participate in your research. You have to be truthful, protect people from harm and significant discomfort. Also, treat information about the individual participants confidentiality. Then there are research issues. First, we have experimental bias, which means factors that distort how the independent variable affects the dependent variable in an experiment. Independent variable means the variable that is manipulated by an experimenter. Dependent variable means the variable that is measured and is expected to change as a result of changes caused by the experimental manipulation of the independent variable. And then we have participant expectation. And then we have placebo. Placebo means a false treatment such as a pill, drug, or other substance without any significant chemical properties or active ingredients. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you need any help regarding notes and more facts, please do contact me via cascade.psychology@gmail.com. Watch my next video on sensation and perception. Thank you.